There's so many different eras of Anberlin from ending in 2014.
As a video creator,
Yes.
as somebody who does video, there's a lot of shots here of just dudes being guys. Anberlin, a band we like
Yes.
quite a bit.
Yes.
With their singer, Stephen Christensen, who we also like.
Yes, very much so.
But things have changed.
There's been a rapid development here. Breaking news that came the other day where we thought it was a joke.
Okay, to be fair, there's a lot of Twitter profiles that post fake news on purpose, and they also posted this news, so that's fair. It's like, dude, you set yourself up for being not considered real
I
news.
definitely saw it, and it was like from one of the Twitter accounts that the day before had like fake posted about a new Mike Hem album, which obviously did numbers, and it said
it's state of the scene. You know what? State of the scene.
Number one enemy against fake news.
Which fuck that too. Anyway, yeah, fuck the idea of a new My Chemical Romance album. But yeah, this news just came out that Matty Mullins is going to be filling in for Stephen Christensen of Anberlin. Matty Mullins of Memphis Mayfire, and I guess it's just because he's going on a touring hiatus from Anberlin.
From what I read quickly, because I also didn't see, like, I saw this get posted, then I saw a friend of the pod, Jack Appleby, tag us, be like, let me come back on the pod and talk about it, and I said, oh shit, like, this is happening. I saw it, and I didn't see that many people like really talking about it, so I was a little like
it's fake news.
I was like, this has to be fake, or people like dispelled it, but then I like actually read the literal statement of it. And I was like, oh, hey, homie, I don't understand where this came from. I get it, but I don't understand how we got Memphis Mayfire coming in for Anberlin.
Let's go ahead and get into the announcement video of this.
After being in this band for 20 years, we've really noticed that the only constant is change. There's so many different eras of Anberlin from ending in 2014.
As a video creator,
yes,
as somebody who does video, there's a lot of shots here of just dudes being guys.
I mean, you have to get like the whole dudes being guys of Anberlin in there, you know, because they are a bunch of dudes being guys for all these years.
I understand that in the greater context of Anberlin and most bands, they are just dudes being guys, right? I'm aware of this. However, I'm commenting more on the video itself. There's a lot of shots of shoes, just guys drinking beers.
14 coming back in 2019, and this is no different. In 2024, Stephen will no longer be touring with Anberlin indefinitely. He's not out of the band. He's not quitting. He's just taking a hiatus. But we do have a plan.
I once heard a Native American proverb that said, there are two dogs warring inside of me, and the one that I feed is the one that wins. And it is because of that.
This man literally said, I have those dogs in me.
I have those two dogs in me, but which one will win?
Like he said, I heard this Native American proverb that literally everybody on the internet is saying constantly in another way.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's like, I got that dog on me. What is the modern iteration of everything throughout the years of all?
There are two dogs living inside of me and they're both fucking each other. That's the new one.
Is that the new one?
Yeah.
I don't
and
like
they both
that.
Stop fucking.
I don't like that at all. What does that even mean?
What do you mean? It's gay sex, dude. I don't know. So far in this video, I find it very interesting that they're just like, he's not quitting. He's just taking a hiatus indefinitely. Because I mean, I get it. There's a lot of bands that are aging and there's a lot of bands that have other lives beyond touring. I do think it's a little bit strange because they just got back, like he said, like they just reunited in they broke up in 2014. They just reunited in 2019. So, I mean,
it's still pretty fresh.
Yeah.
Overall. I mean, I think the thing is too, is my question would be, if he's obviously still in the band, like it said, if they were to record new music, are they recording it with his vocals or are they going to record it with Matty Mullins vocals? And that's just hypothetical if they do make new music.
There's a lot of bands that when they record, they might have people who are just studio.
Okay.
There are times in some bands where they have people who want to write and then they have touring members. Paramore.
Yeah.
They obviously have the band, but then they have people that go play with them.
Right. Yeah.
When this gets concerning, when this gets a little bit more tricky is when it's the singer. Just always straight up. having the vocalist be there is oftentimes the most important part for the audience. You switch out a guitarist, I don't think a lot of people would notice.
Right.
So there are guitarists. There's certainly instrumentalists that add a lot. There are drummers that add a lot for sure. And I think it's really just bassists, and you can fuck right off. Any bassist can at me.
Damn.
Literally any bassist. When it becomes the singer who is swapped out, that does become a moment of like, what are we really doing here, and how is this going to work? I think a lot of times bands don't continue because the vocalist.
And I think that's what, but it sounds like most of the band wanted to keep touring, and Steven was like, hey, I have everything else going on in my life. I'm going to step away and do this. So I think this is probably like the middle ground. I will say, I haven't listened to Memphis Mayfire since I was maybe in like early college.
Yeah.
So I don't even really have like a distinct idea of what Matty Mullins' voice sounds like in comparison to Stephen Christian's.
Let's let the rest of the video play and see what they say about Matty here too.
I have to take an indefinite hiatus away from touring with Anberlin. I've loved it all. I've loved my best friends being out on the road. But at this time, I have to feed my community, my career, but more importantly, my wife and my children. And it's because of that, I'm gonna step down away from touring with Anberlin.
I get a phone notification. I look down, it says Stephen Christian, Anberlin. I had no clue what I was about to open.
So in 2024, we're so stoked to say that Matty Mullins will be Anberlin's touring singer.
I remember reading the first line, and as I kept reading, my face got hot and flushed, and my body started to tingle. The text basically said,
I'm not shading anything about this. I'm just more or less like, okay, this is the announcement to get people hyped, right? It's kind of a little cheesy, a little.
I mean, but it's supposed to be sentimental, and also like they are in like this different type. At least Anberlin is, I think, technically still in that Christian rock band definition. So the way that they also put together their content and things are also going to be different than what we traditionally see in the scene as well.
Sure.
Like this is
marketing.
It's marketing video. It's
PR.
It's giving me Chip and Joanna Gaines energy from HGTV.
Again, the most Florida video.
They just said, hey, we have to show you guys that we're chilling in Florida.
I hope the end of this is just like now available at Target. Chip and Joanna Gaines, really. Hell yeah, really.
I need to step away from touring for a while, and I want you to fill in for me. You're the only person that I want to do it. Which still sounds so crazy coming out of my mouth.
We're fans of Anberlin on the pod, and have been. I'm not the biggest fan of Matty Mullins specifically, and I'm not the biggest fan of Memphis Mayfire more generally. Like, I just think it's kind of ordinary. This is 1 year ago.
Okay, so newer.
It's a song called Make Believe. They're on Rise Records, so there's that. This is 5 million views though, so I mean, obviously, like Memphis Mayfire, my opinions about Memphis Mayfire are kind of irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. Like, obviously, people like them quite a bit, so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna yuck anyone's yum here. I will say though that a lot of bands like this just end up kind of sounding like
this is giving
Bring Me the Horizon.
Well, it's the same trend that's been happening over the last few years. So hearing this, it's like you in this vein, it does sound like a lot of these other active hard rock and some metalcore bands that are trying to get on the Bring Me the Horizon train, which I can't fault them. I mean, look at Architects also did the same thing. A bunch of people did it, and it works really, really well. And that's just the trend of, especially if you want to get into radio rock, like this is what you want to do. What does their older stuff sound like?
Rise Records core. Here's Memphis Mayfire on the Saw 6 soundtrack, well known as one of the Saw movies of all time. It's very Rise core.
I definitely think that if he channels more of this old school voice, if he's able to, it would be a little bit closer to what we're used to for Anberlin, if that's even what he would do.
I mean, I think we also just like that more. I think we're more into like, I mean, as fans of everything that we're listening to, generally, we tend to lean towards like the more like Rise record core breakdown, screaming,
a little raspier in the voice,
raspier voice, and then like also the high pitched emo boys type shit.
Yeah,
you know? Like that tends to be more like the sound that we would choose. Not that we're saying we don't like the active rock sound, because we do like. I love the active rock sound. Yeah, but it's just like, I don't know. I maybe it's because like this is niche, or like it's like kitschy. You know, it's like, oh, we don't have a lot of this anymore, and like Anberlin is more of this.
Yeah, that's what I would wonder how it would be now, because obviously this is 13 years ago. Everybody's voices.
This is 13 years ago from the Saw 6 soundtrack. So you know, just saying. I was saying this is off Trustkill Records, not off of Rise Records. So, you know, even different. It's different. Man.
Damn, built different.
I'm gonna play "Stay the Course" real quick just to see what that sounds like. Hell yeah, brother! You better make sure you stay the course, brother. Do not get off course, brother. He's really staying the course on that one.
Yeah, I feel like it is within the vein of like we had a bunch of artists like that, but I think if he stays with this older type of sound, I think it'll be a pretty good transition.
Yeah, I mean, I
also don't know like the crossover of Anberlin and Memphis Mayfire fans. Like, are
Jesus.
they comparable?
In crass, they are all fans.
Memphis Mayfire is a Christian rock band?
I don't think so, but I do think their audience is probably.
Listen, let's
heavy.
check that. Let's fact check that real quick, because I was wondering, but I wasn't really sure. Doesn't consider themselves a Christian band, but some people are Christian. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's a band of some Christians, but no Stephen Christians. I think I think that the main thing they're saying about touring is obviously like there's a reason they're saying he's taking an indefinite hiatus from touring. I think it'll be interesting if Anberlin is in the studio recording new music and then taking that out on the road and then having a different singer sing it. I don't know many times that has happened.
That would be my question. With the way that it's worded, is that it could work, but then you're going to have a lot of audiences saying, well, I have Stephen Christensen at home.
Yeah. It's Matty Mullins in the streets, Steven in the sheets.
Oh my God.
I think it will be an interesting experiment.
Yeah.
To see what it's like having, if there's new music, if there's brand new music, if it's Steven singing, and then Matty is out on the road singing those songs that Steven recorded in the studio that are new, right?
Right, yeah. New and old. I mean, obviously, when they play their older...
when they play his old stuff, of course. Like,
right,
you're
I think
saying,
people are going to be there and be like...
But I think it'd be interesting if they say,
like?
we're making a new record for 2024,
yeah.
and that has Steven on it. I think that will be interesting. Because now you're basically saying, when you come to the tour in 2024, you know you're not seeing Steven on it.
Right.
You know you're seeing Matty. So here's our new record with Steven on it, and you know you're not going to see him play it live.
Yeah. I really wonder with that. I mean, that's something as time will tell. Yeah. And then, we'll see what people's reactions are. Because some people might just be like, I'm just happy we still get to hear him in general. If that is the course it goes.
We get to hear these songs live.
Right.
And there's still, I think the singer obviously being the major point of the band, and for better or worse, but like saying like, obviously, when you switch out a guitarist, it maybe doesn't affect it as much, especially like touring versus like recording, because it's the same part. Mm-hmm. It's not writing, it's just performing on stage. Obviously, we're sitting here as fans of music. We're sitting here as fans. And like, obviously there are people behind those roles in it. And obviously they are going out on tour. And I know that, these people like touring, but they also like the money that comes with it too. And there's many different pieces of it. The money is just one of the pieces. It's not necessarily everybody's main focus, but it's part of it. You make money on the road, and there's a very big nostalgia thing going on. Have you heard of this?
Isn't it crazy how much there is?
This?
Hey,
there's a whole nostalgia thing. Have you heard about this?
Yeah. So there's obviously a demand for Anberlin on the road right now too. So there's a reason that they're doing touring at all.
I mean, I will say when they announce what their final show is with Steven, is that it has Hawthorne Heights opening for it. And I saw it. I'm like, damn, do I go to Tampa for a day and then come back?
The most Florida show of all time.
The most Florida show of all time. It's like December 13th. I'm like, I fly back. It's my birthday. Let's go.
But yeah, looking forward to it. We'll see what transpires. We'll see how people react to it. We'll see how Matty does. I'm sure people will be curious. This announcement was pretty popular, like pretty. Like
I
it
mean, when
made
I
waves.
saw it, it made a couple. I thought it was going to circulate a little bit more than it did because I feel like it was in the news for like half of the day and then it just wasn't.
Yeah.
And then I didn't see a lot of people talking about it.
I still wonder if people think it's real.
I really do
like
think
that Anberlin video.
I
like,
saw so many like not like networks, but like different people who are like will tweet about C News, but also like have memes and other things like meshed into it. And I'm like, is this legit? Because I also saw it just like really quick.
Yep.
And it was before I could actually go and like look through everything and see like, okay, so like here's the video, here's this, like verify it. Media literacy is very important, everybody. And I was like, I don't know at this point just by looking at it. So I feel like a lot of people could be like, oh man, for real? Like for real?
Apparently. So yeah, we wish the best for Steven. We wish the best for Anberlin. I also will wish the best for Matty. I haven't really said why I don't like him, but I'm like, just it's not for me. It's not my taste, you know. You do you. And obviously I want everyone to you know, be happy, be healthy, and be good. So
yeah.
Much respect, much love, and do your best out there, Anberlin and Matty. Congratulations or whatever.